Obviously, the big one that's going to be here in Las Vegas in a month or so, Canelo versus Chavez Jr. I wanted to get your take on it just because I know that you've been a guy who's had to fight at a catchweight before. How much does that impact you, and do you think that's going to have an impact on Chavez?
It depends on the fighter. When I had to fight AB at 144, I was willing to accept that challenge. You know, I did everything that I was supposed to do. We came back to the fight fresh and ready to fight. You know, I'm very, very curious to see what Chavez is able to do with this catchweight. If he's able to maintain focus and make the weight and feel good everything that he's supposed to do, this could be a more challenging fight for Canelo than most people think it will be. I think if he does it, I want him to do it. I think it'll be challenging for the first half. I think Canelo will take over, and I don't think he's going to stop Chavez, but I think he'll win the fight unanimously.
You know, when you have to lose those extra pounds, do you find yourself spending more time focusing on the weight as opposed to the boxing?
I did not. When my dad comes to the room, and he was like, "Man, this dude wants you to make 144 pounds. What you think about that?" I said, "That's what we got to do. That's what we got to do." He said, "I knew that was your mindset." He said, "But I'm sick of him playing these games." I said, "Hey, we can't worry about it. This is what we got to do." So about a week after my dad told me we would have to make that catchweight at 144, I think we were still maybe 4 or 5 weeks away from the fight. I'm feeling good one day, and I came by my dad's room. I said, "Hey, I'm going to smile when I make this weight." He said, "I know you are." I said, "I might even dance." He said, "Dance if you want to." But I understood the challenge, and again, I was willing to accept that challenge. And so I took it. That was it, man. I took it as 100% a challenge. And the thing with camp that we have figured out is the more time you take away from focusing on making weight, that's more time you can put towards the game plan and being ready for the fight itself. You know, so I'm never putting myself in a position where I'm worried about a fight, about a weight, or I'm concerned or focused on the weight. I try to get all my focus and attention and energy on the fight itself, and just let the weight do what it always does, which is, you know, slowly come off and come off in the right way.
What about from Canelo's perspective? Again, you're a guy who has been forced to fight guys that are bigger than you. I mean, especially in your amateur career and whatnot.
Yeah.
Is that weight going to play a factor on him?
There's kind of no telling. I'm sure. My guess is it won't. And the reason why I say it won't is because he's a professional. He's been doing this for a long time. At the end of the day, he's not going to let 3, 4, 5 pounds stop him from achieving his goal, which is being victorious. And, you know, that's my mindset, and I hope that's his mindset as well.
Yeah. Either way, as long as Chavez makes the weight, it's going to be a good fight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a good fight.